Welcome back to another episode of We Roguelike It. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Monkey Senior.
Hey.
Moonpier, our third scientist, is out this week. He and his wife are on vacation, so we're going to cover the last episode of Don't Starve with just us together. Normally we would do this episode and the ranking, but as we said last week, we can't do the ranking without all three scientists, so we're going to wait for that next week, but we will talk about our next game at the end of this. So Don't Starve, did you have any... I had a really boring run this time. Did you have anything happen?
Me too. Well, I played as the Firestarter girl.
Oh, okay.
Like that second character, but yeah, it wasn't really anything exciting. It was just, another character.
Right.
I mean, it's slightly different. She starts with the what is it called? Fire starter, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not too different.
Yeah, it's not wildly. It's not like the robot guy where you don't eat food and you upgrade with gears, and it's significantly different.
That sounds a lot different.
Yeah. Some of those later characters are kind of crazy. Like the librarian lady really wants to pick up books and learn language from that stuff, and like that's how she can get stronger. And there's some crazy stuff at the end of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like this game in general isn't very notable. Like it's not like a bad thing. It's like it's still a good game. I feel like it's just a bad game for a podcast because you can't really talk about it.
Yeah, there's run to run. There's not a lot. Like the run that I had, I got to day 18, 19, something like that. I really haven't had anything happen. Like I set up a good base. I have like 5 plots of farmland, and I have a bunch of chests. I have a wooden wall all the way around it. I made it through my first hound attack with really no difficulty because they just came in a little tiny opening in my wall, and like I keep expanding further and further out from my base trying to find something, and I really haven't. It's sort of like I found a bunch of wormholes. I haven't found any cave entrances. I found one of those altars that resurrect you. I haven't even found any killer bees. Like there's just literally nothing in this world except for just a whole bunch of spiders and pigs. Like really weird. I did start a shipwrecked run because I wanted to see how that was. That's really cool. So you start off on a little tiny island surrounded by a bunch of water, and the same rules largely apply. They're really... It really is much the same thing, except instead of evergreen trees, they're palm trees, and they drop wood and coconuts. So you're getting wood and food at the same time. Instead of striking out with a torch from your little area, you're striking out on a little crappy raft you built and going out on the high seas. It's kind of cool to see the normal stuff you used to twisted a little bit, but it's really weird to play it like blue sky and open seas, and it's much sunnier. Like it's a much... Don't Starve by itself is this really dark. I think we call it a sort of Elfman-esque experience before. And it's a little weird to see like palm trees and beautiful oceans and stuff like
Happiness.
That. Yeah, like Don't Starve isn't really a happy game. It's not like a sad bummer game, but it's a pretty thematically dark game. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer because like really nothing happened in this run, and I feel like one of my... It's not really a problem. One of my frustrations with Don't Starve, and I feel like Shipwrecked and Reign of Giants and Don't Starve together, those were sort of built to fix this issue. I think one of my core issues with Don't Starve is once you get the foundations down, like staying alive through the night and surviving winter and finding food, like trapping rabbits and cooking that, and all that sort of foundational stuff, once you get that down, I feel like there's not really a lot to challenge you in the game at that point. I think that's fine, because that's getting to that point takes a while, but I feel like once you get to that point, there are tougher enemies, but you sort of like those big eyeballs that are on tall legs, like but you know not to.
Those are weird.
Yeah, but like pretty quickly you learn not to mess with those. Like you just kind of give them a wide berth, and they're killer trees, and you just sort of run away from those. You know, there's nothing. I feel like at some point, you can get your character can equip more weapons and armor and stuff like that, but you never really get strong enough to just kind of hop in there and start cutting things down. So. I like Don't Starve a lot, and I'm still happy. It's one of those few games that I have gone back to because I haven't played it for a couple of years, and playing again, saying like, yeah, man, Don't Starve is still really good. Like, this is a really good game. But I think we talked, and we'll talk a little bit about it during the ranking episode. There was some discussion in our Discord server in the We Roguelike a channel about whether or not Don't Starve is a roguelike or not. Moon has said before that all survival games are roguelikes. I think we'll find that out throughout We Roguelike it as it continues to go on. But I think you made a really good argument, Monkey, if you can recap your argument for Don't Starve.
Yeah, so in my mind, roguelikes at their core have two really things that, or requirements, there we go. Right. Two requirements: permadeath and a randomization of the play area.
Right.
And that's really it for me. And Don't Starve definitely has both of those. Like, if your character dies, you have to start all over, and every time you start over, the whole place is randomized. So yeah. I think part of what we wanted to do with the show, and part of what's so exciting to me, is sort of figure out how far games can stretch the roguelike elements. Like, you're taking, like you said, the sort of core foundational elements of roguelikes in permadeath and randomization, and sort of stretching that to being a survival game with, hunger and health and sanity and sort of your normal survival stuff. And I think in Don't Starve's case, I think it really works, and I think it shows roguelikes don't have to just be, hey, we're going to copy Binding of Isaac, or it's going to be a turn-based thing, or it has to be a shmup or something. Like, you can make use a bunch of different elements. I think it really works well here. So, Me too.
I thought that was great, and I still think Don't Starve is a good game, and I'm very excited next week for us to rank it, because this is one of those times where I genuinely don't know where it's going to fit in the list. And I'm very excited for us to find out where it's going to land. Yeah. But let's talk about our next game. I promise to you, dear listeners, I didn't pick this. I swear to you, it came up on the randomized list, number 1. The next game is Void Bastards.
Ooh.
I promise you, I did not pick this purposely, but I'm very much looking forward to playing more of it. It is on Xbox One and PC. It's on Game Pass on both.
Yes.
So if you have Xbox, what is it called? Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you will have it on both of those platforms. So you'll be able to play it on both of those. So that is Void Bastards. We will start that next week, and we'll play that for 4 weeks. Yet again, that'll probably give us a pretty good idea. I'm sure since it's new, we'll probably say like, we could squeeze like 2 more weeks in, but we'll start with 4 at the very least. So we'll play Void Bastards next, and we'll see you all next run.
Bye.
Oh, I gotta stop the video. Bye.